to establish themselves or where to find their careers. And a few of them become successful working as relationship officers at banks. And even that, they are so happy. The reason being that when you come to the School of Performing Arts to pursue a course, you are most of the time mocked and considered as a person of limited intellect. So if you are able to sail through that and you are able to get a job at a bank, and you know that those who come to the business school will know that eventually they will end up at the bank. And if you, the one from performing arts, also end up there, you say, okay, you can rub your shoulder with other people from other schools. But we are saying that that is not our calling. That student who left here and became a relationship manager at bank that is not his or her calling. But we have a lot that we could do. Now, in presenting this, we have considered the audienceship, and so we have decided not to give you a hardcore theoretical presentations that will need so much thinking to demystify. So we look at the presentation. We see School of Performing Arts, University of Ghana, where we are. Its departments. We look at transferable skills. And then we also look at career paths in dance studies. Beyond that, we look at a couple of case studies, alumni testimonials. Then we finish with industry insights and conclude. Yes. So, presently, the School of Performing Arts, as many of you may have already known, has 3 academic units: Department of Dance Studies, who is the organizer of this carnival, Department of Music, and Department of Theater Arts. And if we zero it down to the dance program we started in 1962, which also moved in parallel to the idea of creation of national identity by the first president of the country, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And the creation of identity, at the time, countries who gained independence immediately wanted to communicate their new nations to the world, and they wanted to do this in a form of music and dance. So that was what brought to life the formation of the Ghana Dance Ensemble. But the Ghana Dance Ensemble, the formation was through a process of both scholarly and practical exploration of music and dance, in the sense that the first group of people who were recruited were actually given some kind of clerical education in terms of reading, writing, and understanding what it is to dance and what it is to perform, etc. So it started with can you hear me? Yes. Lovely. And it started with a certificate program which took 2 years to complete. So within the 2 years, you would have finished with a certificate course, and also you would have finished your training as a full performer and a full member of the Ghana Dance Ensemble. And that's how it started. And then later on, the certificate course also metamorphosed into a diploma course. The diploma initially was 2 years, then it went to 3 years diploma course. Then in the year 2000, the batch, come on, are we safe? Yes. Bachelor of Arts degree, Bachelor of Fine Art degree also began in the year 2000. And currently, as we for the sake of those who are watching us online, I need to use this. And please take care of that. Some 30 minutes ago, I was crying call people who were supposed to set up this thing to come early enough. I said this several times in this room, and nobody responded positively. Because we can't really do things under pressure. A good program is the one that benefits from what? Proper planning. Thank you very much. It's part of the presentation, though. Okay, so now we're talking about, we are jumping, are we jumping? Yes. So we're talking about skills that you gain, because what we do here, I mean, people dance anywhere. Go to the Centers for National Culture, you'll find dance groups and people are dancing there. Some dance better than we do here. But what is the difference for us? We are not only dancing, but also we are exploring dance as a discipline. This is where intellectualization of dance actually begins. And when we talk about intellectualizing dance, we're talking about whether or not there is anything of a value in dance that can be articulated in academia. And that's what we do here. So you have to go through a training that will give you some skills. Creativity is everywhere. You don't need to come to the School of Performing Arts to have creativity, but you can harness it here. You can also better understand it, and you can lift it to several levels and also its layers. Now, punctuality and all those things, physical discipline, all of these things, we call them artistic discipline. Artistic discipline is where you come here, you are trained, and I'll give you an example. You are supposed to perform to audience, and then you come and you see only empty chairs. But because it is a course of study for you to do, whether there are audience there or not, you have to perform. Number two, your training is to make people happy, even though they might be hungry or angry. Your job is to use your art to make them happy. So even if you are hungry, you will have to be in character to make those people, whatever it is, solve their problems. Now, communication is not complete if it doesn't get to the intended end. Communication is complete when the two ends are active. It must start from one end and get delivered at the other end. And various forms of it. How do we communicate with the body? As a dancer, what kind of communication, what kind of knowledge do you communicate? The concept of embodiment, how do you employ that to be able to send a message, just as we are doing on social media today? In fact, we're so happy to know that we are the #1 trending institution on all the social media handles, and we are going to make noise about that. Collaboration. In the world of the 21st century, you cannot survive without collaborating with other people. Collaboration began our race. The African people, the black race, collaboration is what better defines us. Because within the African varied traditions, when we sit like this, we become one family. Yeah? Individualism does not sail. We have to do things together as one people. Adaptability. This is the way we do it when we know that the culture is not static. So, yes, because of the modern trend where we have constant human movement in the midst of technological advancement, every day you move, you meet new people, etc. So you find different cultures interacting in our space. What can we do? We are free to adapt. We are free to borrow. All of those things make our art very relevant to contemporary society. Now, problem-solving skills, most of them are commonsensical. But you know, common sense is not common. You know? I'll give you an example. The Agbaza. I played a rhythm on Agbaza. Performance we did this morning. It's Bashi na Agbagbala. Agodivuvu nado. Right? Bashi na Agbagbala. Agodivuvu nado. Anybody who is studying economics, finance, etc., that is the knowledge they should actually explore to be able to understand it within the cultural context. Bashi na Agbagbala Agodivuvu nado simply means if you say no to fishing and say no to farming and you say no to trading, then unwanted clothes that are torn and thrown away will become your property. It simply means that a lazy person does not enjoy the luxuries of this world. Now, people who are managing the finances of our country, they are far away from that knowledge. This is common sense. The knowledge is there that what you have, the knowledge you have, use it to manage yourself. But we neglect that. We go to US, we go to UK, we go to the Scandinavia region looking for knowledge to come and solve Ghanaian problems. Meanwhile, every society is unique. That's commonsensical, but it's not common to the leaders here. It's for that reason that Nkrumah insisted that we should dig out the past glory of Africa and use it to inspire succeeding generations. But are we doing that? We are failing. Now, we want to look at the career paths. Am I hijacking this? You say two, and I will finish with the rest.
Thank you, Prof. In short, these transferable skills make dance training not just an artistic pursuit, but also a strong foundation for teaching, leadership, project management, and public engagement. This is very important. Now, during our launch, the MC made mention that people are wondering when students complete this department or in relation to School of Performing Arts Dance department, what are they going to use this course for? And this is what we are trying to address. There are key career prospects over here that people can easily, or students can easily delve into. One is you being a choreographer, a performer, dance educator, a dance therapist, art administrator, dance management in production houses, community dance workers, dance critics, ethno-choreologists, dance educators. All these are areas that our students can easily branch into. But the question is, the outsiders are not aware of what we are capable of doing, especially when we complete. And we are saying that even though dance scholars can easily delve into these areas, there are some transferable skills that when they complete, currently we have some students, when they graduate, they find themselves working with a bank institution, working with other social media houses. How are they able to immerse themselves in such areas if they do not embody such transferable skills? It will be difficult for them. And this is all we are trying to project, that there is a lot we have and there is a lot we can do. But it's time for the public to know about this.
Okay, so we'll stay on that. We promise you that we will not go into the deepest part of theory, but of course some terminologies are there. They found their way into this, so I'll just give a bit of explanation to them. When we're looking at the career path, first of all, we have to understand and appreciate the fact that what we put here is not exhaustive. It's better said that a few examples of career path available. We have loads of them, and maybe when your questions come, we'll be able to remember some of them and drop. Now, when we talk about dance managers in production houses, this is happening already in Ghana, where the creative industry is booming already. It's still evolving. Dance critics, and you know, you watch a dance and you give your comment. The comment should be a critical one, not geared towards running down what you've watched, but the intent is to ensure that your comment goes in a long way to enrich the work if the artist wants to redo it again. Now, this is where we have big terminologies, ethno-choreologists. Ethno-choreology is a science. Actually, there is choreology, and then you add ethno. Ethno, we all understand. Choreology is a science that studies movement systems. So choreology actually focuses on the movement aspect of dance. It doesn't leave the other aspects, but the focus is on movement. That's why it's choreology. And it is from that terminology that the term choreography emerged. And I They say that choreography is a new terminology in Ghana. It came when we decided to build national dance ensembles. So as you are building it, you want to look at examples in Europe. And then, no wonder, even in Senegal and Guinea, the word ballet, Guinea Ballet, National Ballet of Senegal, and then ours is Ghana Dance Ensemble. Why can't we say a word in Twi or Ga or Hausa or where? It's all about our colonial past. If you were colonized by French, then you have to get a French name. You were colonized by the English people, etc. Now, dance scholars, we do a lot of training here in the academy, aiming at producing more dance scholars. But you see, the Bachelor of Fine Arts degree course actually came to also advance education into the professionalism of dance practice. And today, we have scholar practitioners like myself, like Kofi Antonio, like HOD Terry Bright Ofosu, like Dr. Sarada Baji here. And so we're talking about aerobic practitioners. We know them already. Dance curators. It's all about exhibiting dance, putting dance on stage, and also ensuring that you use that to send a message to the people. Okay. When you come to this side, performance, choreography, dance education, dance therapy, art administration, these are all specializations that we give to our students here at Legon. But you see, we are moving now to look at how we can connect theory to practice. And that is where we look at industries as very relevant partners of our journey. And we have been talking about, even if it's not happening, we are saying it, we are presenting today, we are proposing that the best way of giving education is to partner with industry players. Because, yes, we know some of us are practitioner scholars, but we don't have it all from industry, and therefore we need to bring people from industry to come here and do at least residencies. When they come here, they can share the industry knowledge with our students, and then we can do a lot of things. I think we've done well. We want to conclude here with some words from Martha Graham, right? Read that one for us, please.
Say, great dancers are not great because of their technique. They are great because of their passion. This quote emphasizes the importance of passion in dance, encouraging graduates to recognize that their love for dance can lead to diverse career opportunities beyond traditional path. Additionally, you are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. Lois said, or inspires us and continues by saying that growth and exploration within the dance profession, it's not a limit. We can go further. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we would like to end here, but make a statement on social media by saying that we love the word, or how you call us, dondology. We love it. But henceforth, from today, we want to give you a different meaning to that word. Don, if you take the denotation meaning of that, means someone who is the leader. He's the boss of that area. Logi, D-O means is a do. Do means all the things we do in the School of Performing Arts are action-oriented. But logic, if you do not have knowledge, wisdom, and the ability to conceive, immerse yourself into what we learn here, you cannot perform it even using your body. It takes a lot. And so we are the boss, and it takes action-oriented things to go all out, but you need knowledge to be able to do what we do.
See, Dondology reconceptualized by Dr. Antonio. 2026. Now, I understand his creative aspect of that, but you see, we can look at the practicality of it too. We all know the dondo. What is it? Is it not a musical instrument? So, logi, dondology, the study of dondo. Why are we studying dodo? And Nkrumah and other people who passed on already, including Nketia and Opoku and the rest, they will tell you that African knowledge was actually stored in music. So Dondo representing the music, it means you have to study the Dondo, study the music, and then you will get the knowledge foundation of the people. So Dondology is not a negative term, it should be a positive term. Whether you look at it creatively, as my colleague has articulated it, or you look at it practically, as I did. On that note, we are going to pause and expect questions from you.
Hello. Thank you very much. The Don Kofi Antonio and the Don Dr. Sylvanus Kuo. Yours is Do and his is Do. Okay. Thank you very much for your presentation. And now I'm going to just open the floor for Q&As. But before I do that, I will just want to add, even though Dr. Kuo puts in a caveat that the number of listed career paths were just a selected few, I would want to add that there are other areas that probably would have even opened up your research further, and those are the technicals. Okay, those in the technical theater end of the spectrum. Sound for dance, light for dance, costume for dance, sound for dance, which I find very, very important. One of such issues is the fact that at the School of Performing Arts, we have, aside from the traditional dramas, we have not integrated creation of sound, electronic sound, with the teaching of dance, and I think we fall short in that area. That can open the career paths further, because dance works in tandem with music. So maybe you need to, your paper should also look at that. Yes, so I'm just drawing your attention to that. So I open the floor now for questions. I have one other question that I'll put. If nobody asks, I would, so, okay, all right. So any questions for them? If you have any questions that you want to put to them, you're open.
Hello.
I am told that Ali Mazuri, if I have the name right, when that African scholar, when he does a presentation, everybody would look down on the presentation as if it is nothing. He does that on purpose. And I see Dr. Antonio and Dr. Kuo have just presented the mundane form of things that you know. Then your suggestions, when they come out with the paper, you would ask, is that the presentation that they did? Is it the same thing? That is what Ali Masuri does. Anytime he does a presentation, it is porous, and he does that on purpose, so that you would bring out all the issues. Now, once you bring out the issues, he puts them together, you will marvel at the final work. Okay.
Yes, I have two questions.
Okay.
I don't know if you could educate us on what Nkrumah's objective was when he created African Studies and wanted people to study dance. I don't believe that he expected it to be a problem for the students when they finished. I'm sure he had a route in mind for them. Mm-hmm. And secondly, we've spoken about looking at career paths. Mm-hmm. I know, I'm not a scholar, but a little I know that dance influences many areas: politics, science, advertising and so on. Why are we not thinking about creating the space which will create jobs through our discipline rather than going to look for jobs? Because the dance has the capacity to create space for many careers. Why are we not exploring that? Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one, yes. Nkrumah had everything in his mind clear before he started his movement. In fact, Nkrumah wanted us to also have something called African knowledge, or at least Ghanaian knowledge. As we sit here, if I ask you to show me Ghanaian knowledge, you will never be able to show me anything. It's pity. It's a pity. At that time, 1962, when the movement started here on campus, he wanted us to lift up research into what could be described as Ghanaian African knowledge. And he believes strongly, per his own studies, he believes strongly that it is embedded in the arts, because we are oral society. Everything that you can see about us is all, or let me say majority of it is in oral tradition. The oral aspect of knowledge is what gives education. For example, if you have a book that you're reading, the book only gives you information. It doesn't do anything beyond that. But if you want education, you have to experience whatever it is that the book is telling you. And that's why a lot of our knowledge bodies are still stored in what? Oral tradition. You touch it, etc. Nkrumah knew about all of those things. And getting a job after that was not a problem, because he put systems in place that people who finish the training could actually get into that. But that leads me to your second question that talks about we teaching the students to create their own jobs rather than looking for. Yes, we do that a lot. In fact, in my class, I always focus on changing their paradigms from writing application to writing a proposal. When you write a proposal, you sell it to a bigger organization like WHO, what you call it, UNESCO, etc. And in that one, your ability to use arts to educate people on some social vices or whatever is a problem over there will create an opportunity not for only you, but because you create it, you will need a sound person, you will need a lighting person, you will need a writer, you will need an actor, you will need a poet, you will need a musician. So you are creating a field for a lot of people. But even that, at the time Nkrumah was talking, that era was totally different. Today, technology has moved faster than ever, and people can be in their bedrooms and create music. What we see Dr. Ofosu do and we watch on social media, somebody can even specialize in selling materials like that. And it's a field. So Nkrumah was clear. It is up to us now how dynamic we are. In fact, the School of Performing Arts is not supposed to be a static place where you come here, you only do Agbaza and Chagbeko and go. No. It's the reason why when Dr. Terry came into the academy, we had we are saying that is not enough. He mentioned sound, right? Perhaps we have to have sound engineering and a whole lot of things here as part of the course we do here. And also, how do we leverage on the creativity of people who are still living in the ghettos? Because the kind of education that the colonial masters gave to us was not geared towards developing such people. For some of us, maybe it was by the grace of the Almighty God, because you were expected to attain a certain level of fluency in English language to be able to even go to secondary school and come to university. Even today, if you score a D7 in English language, you can't come to University of Ghana. Meanwhile, The knowledge that defines you is not stored in English language, it's stored in your culture, which includes your Ghanaian language. You throw it away. So this is what I keep saying, that common sense is the solution, but it's not common to our leaders. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kuo. We are running a bit late. Is there anybody online who wants to ask a question? Yes. Okay, so yes, after you, I have one question which is a bit controversial that I would want to ask.
Hello. My name is Yatini Anya, and my question has to do with funding and also related institutions for young performers to approach. Because although we have institutions in Ghana, they are very, very, very limited. The number of performers and creative we have honestly overwhelm the industries we have here. That is a big challenge, because also as a growing nation, I don't expect our government to pump a lot into the arts to save it for us. We have to engage in that. So the question here is right now, where do we get fundings? How do we approach the fundings? What are other institutions doing in regards to that? How do we create a bigger web to help sustain the industry in its own space without needing to rely on government and higher institutions? That's my question.
Just to save time, yes. We need to create possibilities for funding for us, first of all, before we think of going beyond our shores. How many of you know that MTN company is a South African company? How many of you here know? Okay. You can mention about 20 or 30 South African companies in Ghana that are doing extremely well and are supporting our festivals and events. But where we fail as Ghanaians is that we rather plant more churches than companies. Can we shift our focus to educate Christendom that churches must also be funding the arts? Maybe that is something we should consider. UNESCO has pockets of funding for cultural programs, etc., but it's very competitive. It means we have to lift up our game. Quite apart from that, there are other organizations. But my question is, if we are going to rely on private organizations for funding,